what would happen. 7-game series. This all-time Laker team versus an all-time team. And that is already put out there. We have Steph Curry, Michael Jordan, Larry Bird, Tim Duncan, Hakeem Olajuwon versus Magic Johnson, Kobe Bryant, LeBron James, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and Shaq.
Yeah. It's not like an apples for apples thing, though, because, yes, you're comparing position by position, but some of these players and their skill sets are so very, very different, you know? So I had it like just doing the one-on-one matchups. I had it 3-2 in favor of the not Laker team.
And I'm guessing you had Jordan, Duncan, and Olajuwon.
Correct. Yes. Yep. That's exactly how I had it. And I know a lot of people might say, wait a minute, you can put Olajuwon over Shaq? I would. I think Hakeem Olajuwon's the greatest center of all time. Yeah, I actually do too. I understand Shaq's dominance, and that's, but his size dictated that.
But you even asked Shaq.
But
who gave him fits?
he would say Olajuwon. He would say Olajuwon. And again, I have PTSD with Olajuwon because of, just how many times he dream shook David Robinson out of his shoes. Yeah. And that sticks with you a little bit.
He was so quick. Those fast twitch muscles.
If you look at but what's funny is if you look at the guys where I would have where I would have chosen the Lakers, it's such a not apples to apples comparison. Yes, position wise, but LeBron and Larry, I mean, come on. You couldn't have two different players.
This is my whole problem with this. This is my whole problem with this right now. LeBron and Larry, I think that's a good one-on-one matchup. And I think that you have two guys. Like, I think LeBron is like a 2.0 version of Larry. But I think Larry had better court vision. And I think he was a better defender, which is kind of saying a lot because LeBron James was a great defender. Larry Bird just had some of those hands. The problem is he wasn't fast. And that's where LeBron he's just more athletically gifted.
Yeah, he would.
I do think Larry Bird would give LeBron some fits. Whereas I think
he'd be popping threes.
Whereas, yeah, well,
it'd be very difficult for,
Right, and I think that I think across the board, I think you see Steph Curry versus Magic. Magic is obviously a better player, but I don't know if he could hang with Steph Curry out on that arc.
No, that's right.
So that's where. But I don't think Steph Curry could not even come close to stopping Magic.
No.
So that's where I think I give him a little bit of an edge there. Now, Kobe versus Michael, everybody knows carbon copy of Michael Jordan is
right. I'd rather have the original than the
original, and the original is a little bit more of a will to win.
The assassin.
Yes. And then you have Larry versus LeBron. I think Larry would give LeBron fits, but LeBron is he would win. He would win that matchup. And then you have Kareem versus Duncan. Duncan's
the greatest power forward who ever lived.
Kareem is not he's not the defender that Duncan was.
Duncan's the greatest power forward to ever live.
I agree with you.
And
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is not even a power forward. That's like you have two centers at that point.
Yeah,
but
really.
Duncan's he's a beast too, and he's played center. So it's not like that is a matchup that I think that Duncan would win just because he's just so fundamentally sound. Whereas I think he would
a big fundamental.
He'd be able to get under the skin of Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and shut him down. And then you have Hakeem and Shaquille. I think that's a very close matchup, but I think ultimately
so different styles. The styles are just so different.
Hakeem would just dominate. Not dominate.
Hakeem
would win that matchup.
Hakeem's mid-range game would be a problem for Shaq. And the dream shaking and the turnaround jumpers. Oh God!
And then even though he's got that size advantage, and he would push him around. Yeah. Hakeem has never cared about that. He enjoyed when Shaq pushed him around because he knew that he still was quick enough to get to the shot and block it, or get his hand in his face and make him alternate. I mean,
Olajuwon was not a small guy.
No, and he has lanky, long arms.
Yeah, big arms, big wingspan. I just think
dude led the league in so many categories.
I just don't know how Shaq would have defended him. Yeah. I don't know how Shaq would have defended him because Olajuwon could dominate inside and mid range. It would have been a real problem.
Yeah.
Those baseline turnaround jumpers,
Yeah.
I just don't know how Shaq would have handled that.
And that's not even including his defense.
Right. I'm not even,
Yeah.
And Shaq can't hit a free throw to save his life either.
Right.
So it's a problem.
And,
I
the dream
actually,
was, like 80-something from the line.
I mean, he's such an underrated player. Such an underrated
Yeah,
player.
I don't know why he doesn't get more love. You got to go back and watch some film about him, man. Whew. Even listen to Shaq talk about him.
Just watch him destroy David Robinson. Listen, and as a Spurs fan, I'm telling you,
watch him destroy Patrick Ewing.
David Robinson is one of the greatest centers to ever live. He's also one of the 50 greatest players to ever live. And Akeem Olajuwon just abused him to the point where, like, the police should have been called. I mean, it was really unfair. It was unfair.
I mean, he did that to a lot of people. He did that to Shaq.
He did. But when you're
Shaq
the best,
was
that's what
Orlando,
happens.
he did it to Shaq. Yeah. When he did it to Patrick Ewing. He did it to
Patrick Ewing.
all these stud centers that were, supposed to be great. They were.
Ewing was
as great.
Ewing to me was like the carbon copy of Olajuwon. Not as good as the original. But a lot of similarities, though.
Yeah. Long,
A lot of similarities.
lanky, good
Long,
mid-range game.
Good mid-range, yep. Ewing could hit that turnaround jumper from the baseline, too. Like that kind of...
But not as quick. Just wasn't as quick.
No, nowhere near again, like a copy.
Yeah.
Just not quite as good as the original.
Yeah. Good stuff. All right. So, yeah, I'd like to hear what anybody else has to say about the all-Laker team versus the all-time team, which is, I don't even think that's, I mean, that's a good all-time team right there. That is a solid all-time team.
Yeah, I would say it's a pretty great
Steph
all-time
Curry,
team.
Michael Jordan, Larry Bird, Duncan, Olajuwon. Yeah. You can't do much better than that. So if you have a better version,
I
throw it
give
our way
the
and
nod.
we'll
I
take
give
a look at
the
that.
nod individually to Magic and to LeBron. But I also do think, though, that there are very conflicting styles between those four players. And I do think that there would be certain things that Larry could do that would probably drive LeBron nuts, and certainly things Steph could do that would be troublesome for Magic. Ultimately, I'm still going to give Magic and LeBron the nod there, but it's closer.
So do you think sweep? 4 games to none? I say they win in 5.
No, I would say, well, if it's a 7-game series, no, I'd say 4-2.
Oh, wow.
4-2 non-Lakers. Yeah,
I'd
I'm
say
gonna give the
5-1.
non-Lakers a couple games. I mean, let's not pretend like there's not some all-timers on that Lakers team.
No, they're great.
It's an
They are
amazing
great.
fucking team.
They are great.
But
And I do think that, unfortunately, I think the weakest link of this all-time team is Steph Curry, because he is the one guy who doesn't play
Probably.
defense.
yeah, probably.
No
And
defense.
he's.
Zero
And I
defense.
wouldn't even call him a weak link.
Yeah,
'Cause
no,
gonna
he's
hit
not,
some
but he's their
bombs.
weakest link. Like, because he knows no defense.
Imagine the 2-man game though that like he and Larry could have played together, just working that perimeter. Holy shit! Oh my god, would have been abuse.
Good stuff. Good stuff. And then, I mean, the problem is how do you give everybody their due?
Well, yeah, right. There's not enough balls to go around. Yeah. That's crazy.
That's what she said. All right. So
Gross. Yeah. Anyways, how is this actually?
yes, let's get into it. I wonder if I have any old clips here. Can I do that? Oh yeah, here we go. Let's do this one. Boop.
Welcome to the Rotten Tomatoes game. How is this actually?
I'm excited.